My name is Name. I am 103 years old, and I still walk on my own 2 feet. I live by myself, in the same house I've lived in for more years than I can rightly count. Every morning I walk out to my mailbox. When the weather's kind, I walk out to my little garden and back. I go up my own porch steps. I have not used a wheelchair a single day of my life, and at 103, I do not intend to start. I do not tell you that to boast. I tell you because I know what most people my age are afraid of, more than almost anything else. They're afraid of the day their legs give out, the day they can't get up out of the chair without help, the day a fall takes everything from them in one afternoon. I've watched it happen to people I loved, and I want to talk to you today about what I've done all these years to keep it from happening to me. So if you're over 60, or if you love somebody who is, stay with me, because your legs are the difference between living in your own home and living somewhere else. And there is more you can do about them than anybody ever tells you. Let me start honest. When I was in my late 60s, my legs started to change, and it frightened me. I noticed I couldn't hop up out of a chair the way I used to. I'd rock forward, push with my hands, make a little sound doing it. I noticed I'd rest a hand on the wall walking down the hallway at night just to feel steady. My legs got tired after a short walk, tired in a way they never had. And one evening I sat down and thought, plain as day, this is the beginning of the end of my independence. If you've felt that little wobble, that hesitation before you stand, that fear when you step off a curb, I want you to know I see you. That fear is not foolish. It is not weakness. It is your body asking for attention. And if you listen to it right, it will push you to do the very things that keep you standing. I listened, and I'm still here. Now, before I say one more word, I am not a doctor, and nothing I tell you takes the place of yours. If your legs are swelling up, or going numb, or hurting bad, or one is worse than the other, that is not something to eat a handful of seeds and hope over. That is something to show your doctor, because it can be a sign of something real that needs proper care. I still see my own doctor. I still take what she gives me. What I'm sharing today is everything besides that, the daily things that keep an old body moving. Hear me on that, please. All right. Let me tell you what your legs actually need. First, feed the muscle. This is the one nobody explains. Here is the thing I wish somebody had sat me down and told me at 50. As we get older, our bodies slowly lose muscle. Doctors have a long name for it, but you don't need the name, you just need to know it's real. It's a big part of why so many folks in their 70s and 80s start to look like they're fading and start to feel unsteady and weak in the legs. A great many people believe that's just getting old and nothing can be done. But a lot of the time, it isn't the years doing that at all. It's that the body has stopped getting enough of the one thing muscle is built from, and that's protein. If you don't feed your muscles, your body will actually break down its own muscle to get by. That's the weak, disappearing look you see in so many older people. It is not always destiny. Sometimes it's just a plate that's missing something. So I make sure I eat protein every single day, at every meal if I can. For me, that's eggs in the morning, good, honest eggs, one of the most complete foods there is. It's lentils and beans, which cost next to nothing, cook up easy, fill you right up, and carry protein and fiber both. I make a big pot of lentil soup most weeks, and it feeds me for days. It's a little Greek yogurt, which has more protein than the regular kind, and it's fish a couple of times a week when I can manage it. I was never a woman of means, but I came to understand something, and I want you to understand it too. Feeding your muscles is not an expense. It is an investment in your legs, in your balance, in every extra year you get to spend in your own home. Strong legs are how you stay free. There is no substitute for it. Second, the minerals your muscles run on. Now, muscles don't just need building material, they need the right minerals to work properly, to fire, to relax, to not cramp up on you in the night. You've maybe woken up with a hard cramp seizing your calf. I have. For a couple of years there, it woke me most nights. Two of the minerals muscles need to work smoothly are magnesium and potassium, and a lot of older folks are running a little short on them without knowing it. So I eat foods that carry them. For magnesium, I keep pumpkin seeds, and I eat a small handful. I eat my leafy greens, my beans, a bit of dark chocolate in the afternoon, which happens to be good for that too. For potassium, sweet potatoes, which I love, and beans, and a banana here and there. Now I'm going to be careful and honest with you the way most folks aren't. I can't promise you these foods will cure a thing. What I can tell you is that these are real, honest foods that carry the minerals muscles need. And for me, over time, my legs felt more settled and those night cramps eased off. Maybe it was the food, maybe it was other things I changed too. I'm just telling you the truth of what I ate and what I noticed. And if you're getting bad cramps often, mention it to your doctor. Sometimes it's a medicine you're on, and that's worth knowing. Third, greens and good fat to go with them. I eat my vegetables most days, and I stop treating them like a sad little side dish. Leafy greens, cabbage, broccoli, whatever's fresh and cheap that week. These are foods people have eaten for thousands of years, and there's a reason they've stuck around. Your whole body, blood and all, runs better when it's fed real plants. And I don't cook the life out of them. I wilt my spinach in a little olive oil with garlic. Good olive oil, poured with a generous hand, a healthy fat, and it makes plain vegetables taste like something you'd actually want to eat again. That matters more than people think. Because food that tastes good is food you'll keep eating. Nobody ever stuck with a plate that tasted like medicine. Fourth, and this may be the most powerful of all move. Now here is the part that does more for your legs than any food on this earth. You have to use them. I know. When your legs feel weak, every instinct tells you to sit down and spare them. And I'm going to tell you the hardest truth I know about getting old. Sitting down and staying down is how you lose them. A muscle you don't use, you lose. A joint you don't move stiffens. The body is built to keep going, and the day you decide to just settle into that chair for good is the day things start to close in around you. So I move every single day. Not anything hard. I'm 103. I'm not doing anything hard. I walk to the mailbox and back, to the garden and back. On the days I can't get outside, I get up and walk around the house again and again. Walking is the finest medicine there is for old legs, and it costs nothing. It keeps the muscle, it keeps the joints loose. It keeps the blood moving down into your feet and back up again, which is exactly what tired, cold, heavy legs are asking for. And it lifts your spirits besides. Whatever you can do, do a little of it, and do it today. If you can only walk to the end of the room and back, walk to the end of the room and back, and do it twice tomorrow. It adds up. It truly does. Fifth practice, not falling. And here's one more, and it's important, because a fall is the thing that ends more independence than almost anything else. You can practice your balance, and it gets better with practice at any age. Here's what I do, and here's how I do it safely. I stand behind a good sturdy chair or at my kitchen counter where I've always got something solid to grab, and I'll rise up onto my toes and back down, slow a few times, to wake up my calves and ankles. Sometimes I'll stand on one foot for just a moment, holding the counter, then the other. Little things, but your body learns balance the way it learns anything, by being asked to do it over and over. Please always keep a hand near something steady when you try this, and take a good look around your house too. That loose rug, the dark hallway, the clutter on the stairs. Those are the things that catch an old foot. Clear them out, put in a nightlight, and you've prevented a fall before it ever happened. That's the practical part. Feed the muscle, give it the minerals it runs on, eat your greens with a good fat, move every day, and practice staying steady. Simple, sensible, and there's not one thing on that list you have to buy off the internet. But if I stopped there, I'd be lying to you by leaving out the biggest part, because I did not make it to 103 on eggs and heel raises, not even close. Now the part that matters most. I know some of you are listening and thinking, that sounds fine, but I've tried before. I started strong and I fell away from it. I hear you, and I believe that's where most advice fails people. They give you the what, eat this, do that, but they never give you the why that goes deep enough to hold you when you don't feel like it. So here is the truest thing I have learned in 103 years. Your legs will carry you exactly as far as you still have somewhere to go. Let me tell you what I mean. I have watched people my whole long life, and the ones who kept their legs, who kept walking into their 90s, it was almost never just the food or the exercise. It was that they had a reason to get up, somewhere to be, somebody expecting them. Their body kept going because their life still asked it to. There was a stretch after I lost my husband when I would wake in the morning and just lie there. My legs worked fine, but I'd ask myself, in the flat, plain way of an old woman doing the math, why get up? And I'll tell you what turned it not a food. A neighbor, name, across the street, who'd stopped eating right after he lost his wife. I noticed he was getting thin, so one Sunday I made a little extra soup, put on my good apron, and walked it over to him. Nobody asked me to. I just knew what grief does to a person, and something happened to me. The next Sunday, I woke up with a reason. I had a pot to fill, an apron to put on, and somewhere to walk to. My legs had a job again, and a body with a job keeps going. That's the secret underneath all the seeds and greens. Being needed is not a favor you do for other people. It is what keeps your own legs moving. Purpose is not a luxury for the old. It is very near a necessity. The folks who stayed on their feet were the ones still bringing groceries, still calling the sick, still teaching a Sunday class, still sitting with a widow so she wasn't alone at supper. They had somewhere to be, and the body knew the difference. Be honest with yourself. There's another piece, and it's honesty, the private kind, when nobody's watching. Be honest about where you are. If your legs are weak, don't pretend otherwise. That's how a fall sneaks up. And if you're lonely, and Lord, so many of us are, and too proud to say it, then admit that too. Loneliness is one of the most destructive things I've ever watched. Work on an older person, it takes the reason to get up and go right out from under them. There's real science now on how hard it is on the body, but I didn't need a study. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it starts to lift the moment you stop pretending it isn't there. Have something to hold on to. And I'll say this gently, having something larger than myself to hold on to, whatever that is for you, is part of what's carried me through every hard thing I've buried in this long life. I won't tell you what to believe. That's your road. But something that gives the hard days a frame is not weakness, it's structure. It's the difference between a life that holds together when the storms come and one that doesn't. Let me leave you with this. I want to close the way I live with the simple things. Every morning I swing my legs over the side of the bed. I put my feet flat on the floor and I sit there just a moment and I say thank you for another day. Thank you for these legs because I know what they're worth. Then I stand up and I go make my breakfast, and later I'll walk out to that mailbox, same as always. I am 103 years old and my legs still carry me. They carry me because I feed them, because I move them every single day, because I practice staying steady, and most of all, because I have never run out of somewhere to go. So feed your muscles. Move your legs a little every day. Practice your balance and clear those rugs. And then go find your reason, the neighbor, the friend, the grandchild who needs you. Because that reason is what your legs are for. You are not too far gone. It is not too late. Legs are more willing to keep going than we're ever told. You've just got to ask them to and give them somewhere worth walking. I'm Name. I'm 103 years old. I live alone. I walk on my own 2 feet, and I am just fine. I hope one day you'll be able to say the very same thing. If this reached you today, do me one small kindness, leave your name and your age in the comments below. I read every single one. And tell me one thing you'll do tomorrow. One short walk, one small change, one person you'll go see. Just one. That's how it begins. And if you'd like to sit with me again, real talk, honest talk, from somebody who's actually walked this road, then subscribe, and I'll be right here. Lord willing, same as always.